I'm back in St. Chris with Luna, and we just did a 20-hour travel to get back here. It was awful. Actually, it was okay for the first 17 hours, and then like we both just gave up. So a lot of people actually write to me about tips and tricks for long haul travel with their kids, since I've done a lot. This video, this mom talk, is about, how to do the long haul plane rides, because plane travel has got to be by far the absolute worst with a child. My daughter is almost 10 months, so she's right at that age where she doesn't want to sit still, but she can't really understand no even. So, and she doesn't really occupy herself. So here's my top tips for traveling with a baby for 8 or more hours on a plane. Tip number 1, know your airline. You can book a bassinet. So if you have a really small baby and your baby is used to sleeping in a crib of some sort, book that bassinet. You also are going to get in front row with them, where you'll have more leg room, and that's really key with small kids because you can put them on the floor and kind of create toys around them. Fly something like WestJet. So WestJet's a bit of a catch-22. They're awful with a baby. Like, for instance, they make you take a carrier off while you're doing takeoff and landing. And if you have a sleeping child, like we all know, don't fucking wake a sleeping child ever. But WestJet doesn't care. So, and they make you put every diaper in a bag to throw out, and they give you this big speech, and they're just not family friendly. Whoever came up with the rules there doesn't fucking have kids, for sure. So that's the shitty part. But the great thing about WestJet is you can upgrade for under $100 on pretty much every flight to the front seats, where there'll be 2 seats and the middle seat is just not available. And that's a great upgrade to do because, $80, it's not cheap, but it's affordable and it's possible. And, if you're traveling by yourself or with a partner, you get that whole bottom part. You can put the kid in the middle on the floor with toys. You have a lot more room to kind of sprawl out. It's totally worth it. So WestJet's good and bad. I hate them, but I love that upgrade. So get to know your airline. Find out what your airline services are. Some airlines charge you to put infant on lap. Some airlines don't. Some airlines, when you show up, they're fine. Some airlines will put 2 pieces of luggage for the kid underneath. Some will put it all. You want to find out what your airline offers you for traveling with a baby. That's your number 1 thing to do, okay? Second, if you can avoid taking red eyes, avoid it. Waking up in the middle of the night with your child to get on a long haul flight because you wanted to save $75 is a fucking rookie move, okay? It's not even 4 in the morning. And we're on our way to the airport. And we're tired. Okay? If you do that, you are going to be working on very little sleep. Even if your kid will sleep through, you won't. Okay? So after 8 hours, when your kid wakes up and they're really cantankerous and they want to move around the plane, you're working only on less than 5 hours of sleep. And it's going to be really hard. So book the day flight if you can, just do it. Watch when you're booking your flight. Think about your day. Think about the rhythms. Think about what you're doing. Third tip, okay? Snacks and toys. You are going to need every single snack you can possibly bring that your kid loves. You don't need to bring tons of food because they have food on planes, okay? Either for purchase or for free. You don't need to bring tons, but you do need to bring some of their favorite snacks, especially dry snacks like crackers or those little puff things that they like, and sippy cup. Because they serve everything in a shitty little plastic cup that's totally open, and your kid's sitting on your lap within reach of that and can just knock it over. So bring a sippy cup for them. You might want a bottle for yourself that closes. So depending on the age of your kid, we're talking only about kids under 2. When it comes to toys, you need to bring their favorites. And if their favorite toy is something huge, don't fucking bring that. It's really easy. I like to go and get a whole bunch of tiny toys. Luna likes small toys like little dinky cars and little things. I'm a Ziploc bag girl. So I have one big Ziploc for her toys, and in there is a thin indestructible book. I like to take toys on a string, anything that you can string together, because you can tie it on the where the table folds up on the seat in front of you, and you can flick it and that will hang down over the tray. And if they're sitting on your lap with the tray in front of them and some toys hanging and some little things in front of them, it's like a little activity area. Or you can also hang it off stuff if they're on the floor, you know, in the bulkhead or in that WestJet seat. Next is clothing. You want to layer for yourself, layer for them, okay? You need a tank top, you need a t-shirt, you need a long sleeve, and you might, depending on where you're going and the airline, you might need a scarf and thick socks, okay, and a jacket. That's a lot to carry though. So really think about what you're gonna wear on the wardrobe on the plane. Really think of your wardrobe in advance for yourself and your kid. I also always wear pants with pockets in them because you will need them. And I always have one pocket in my bag that's accessible at all times, okay? So it's important to think about what you're gonna wear. Don't be an idiot and bring everything and then you're like stuffing stuff into bags and overhead. My last big tip, I can't stress this enough, is don't bring shit on the plane you don't need. It's really important to pack only your very basics as carry-ons. And the reason why is you want to be light. If you're traveling for 14 hours, you have connections, you know, you want to make sure that, yeah, you have a lot of snacks, you have a lot of toys, you probably have your own computer, maybe, you know, you get a magazine for yourself. Like, I don't travel with books anymore. Books take up too much room. I have only magazines. You want to just be able to focus on your kid. You don't want to be stressed in any way, and stuff stresses people out. Most of the shit that you can need at the airport, you can buy at the airport. Or flight attendants will help you sometimes. You know, it's a hit or miss with flight attendants. They will help you though. They'll get you an extra blanket. They'll help you with the baby. They'll let you walk up and down. You can usually stand kind of at the back, foot to foot. You know, changing a kid in an airport bathroom's super easy by yourself. It's even easy to pee. You know, it's fine. Like, all that is fine. It's just like trying to keep them contained for a long period is hard. And you know what? If you've been traveling with your kid for over 12 hours and you have a little mental breakdown in a bathroom at an airport, that is okay. That is totally normal. There's nothing wrong with bursting out into tears, like big mouth, double pumping it while holding your baby who's also crying. That is normal shit. Don't feel ashamed for losing it. It's hard, okay? Bonus, if you breastfeed, you can basically breastfeed your kid like right through the whole thing. Like literally, you can just breastfeed. If you don't breastfeed, it's a lot harder. You need sippy cups and snacks and stuff even more. But if you breastfeed, like, man, just shove that kid on your tit the whole way. Well, that's my tips. Happy traveling. If you can go by land, do that.